Why is it that when a wealthy man enters a room, people instinctively straighten their backs, lower their voices, and make space, without him uttering a single word? True wealth is not merely a number in a bank account, a collection of cars, or a mansion perched atop a hill. It is, more often, an invisible force, a presence that quietly bends the world in its direction. This force is not born from chasing validation, nor from loudly broadcasting one's success. Instead, it is carefully cultivated over years, composed of habits, posture, and a set of unspoken strategies that set the powerful apart from the ordinary. Imagine a room filled with voices, chatter, laughter, the sound of people eager to be recognized. In this setting, the truly rich are not those clamoring for attention, but those who seem to draw it effortlessly. They don't chase validation. They attract it, as if their very presence creates a gravitational pull. This is not a trick of fashion or wealth displayed on the wrist or in a designer suit. In fact, the language of silent authority is one of behavior, one that others sense on an instinctive level and respond to, often without realizing it. Where the average person talks to be heard, the rich have mastered the art of listening to control the conversation. Their silence is not a void, but a presence, generating a subtle tension that commands attention. Stillness, in their hands, becomes a powerful tool. When they do speak, their words carry weight, not because of volume, but because of timing and precision, like a surgeon choosing the exact moment and place to make an incision. This strategic presence is built on 1,000 micro-decisions. It's in the length of eye contact, never too brief, never too lingering. It's in the rare but calculated smile, the careful selection of what is acknowledged and what is ignored. The wealthy often speak last, letting others lay their cards on the table, revealing motives and desires. By the time they enter the conversation, they know exactly where to direct their influence, their words cutting through the noise with surgical accuracy. Body language plays its part as well. The truly rich don't fidget or shift nervously. Their posture is relaxed yet alert, their movements minimal but intentional. Every gesture projects control, never desperation. It's not arrogance, but a quiet assurance that their value is not up for debate. Even their clothing speaks this language, tailored, understated, never gaudy. Their goal is not to impress, but to belong to a class where elegance whispers and does not shout. In public, their pace is never hurried. They walk with measured steps, comfortable in their command of time, never suggesting that the world is rushing them along. To move quickly can signal scarcity. To move deliberately hints at power and possession of one's own destiny. In a world where everyone is running, the one who moves with calm intention stands out as someone who owns the clock. But perhaps the most revealing trait is how the wealthy respond to disrespect or challenge. Emotional outbursts are rare. When insulted or provoked, they remain calm, even disarmingly so. This is not indifference, but a deliberate strategy. Power, after all, does not flinch. Emotional volatility is the currency of those without real leverage. By not reacting, they seize the psychological high ground, making others feel off balance while they remain anchored. Their silence extends to their finances as well. The rich rarely advertise the full extent of their wealth. This creates an aura of mystery. People wonder, they speculate, and in doing so, their curiosity becomes respect. Strategic ambiguity keeps others guessing, and in this uncertainty, the wealthy find leverage. What is not said can be more powerful than any boast. Scarcity is another law they understand well. The truly rich are not everywhere. They are selective about their presence, creating rarity. They are not the loudest in every room, nor the constant face in every crowd. Their absence is felt as much as their presence, and their scarcity becomes a magnet for attention. The less they speak, the more people want to listen. The less they reveal, the more people are desperate to know. The less they chase, the more they attract. Behind this calm exterior, however, is often a history of challenge and hardship. The wealthy carry with them the lessons of risks taken, betrayals endured, and failures survived. They don't wear these as badges, nor do they speak of them often, but the weight of these experiences is felt in their presence. It is the quiet confidence of someone who has faced adversity and emerged unbroken. That energy doesn't require an introduction, it commands recognition. In negotiations, billionaires often say little. Their silence, posture, and calmness communicate that they do not need the deal as much as the other party might. This is leverage, and it is more effective than any spoken word. Words can reveal position. Silence preserves it. The richest are not only wealthy in money, but in psychological resilience. Their self-esteem is internal, built on self-mastery, not on the applause of the crowd. Within elite circles, these dynamics are even more pronounced. The loudest voice is often seen as the weakest. True influence is subtle, exchanged in glances, quiet nods, and the weight of a shared understanding. Sometimes, all it takes is presence alone. The rich often test others through silence. They observe how people respond. Do they become nervous, overshare, or fill the void with empty talk? In these moments, control shifts silently and irrevocably. But this is not a gift reserved for the already wealthy. The power to command respect without words can be learned by anyone. It begins with stillness, understanding social cues, mastering silence, and building a deep sense of self-worth. Walk a little slower. Speak with intention. Don't rush to fill silences. Make people wait for your perspective. Control your reactions. Remember, unpredictability is a form of strength. The aim is not arrogance, but self-containment. When you master yourself, others sense it, and they adjust accordingly. Respect is not demanded, it is radiated. Those who master this art of presence are treated as if they are rich, long before their bank accounts catch up. So, the next time you step into a room, pause and consider not just what you'll say, but how you'll exist in that space. What energy will you bring? How much silence will you allow? How much presence will you radiate? In a noisy world, the calmest, most composed person becomes the rarest, and ultimately, the most powerful. Wealth, then, is often the outward sign of inner mastery. The individuals who command respect without uttering a word have already conquered the greatest battle, the one within themselves, and that, in the end, is the richest form of power.